All right, this is the last lecture on Islam. This is part 4, Islamic values and cultural exchanges. Um, just to wrap things up here, first of all, we need to understand that the Quran and Sharia law was the main formula for a moral guidelines. Um, However, it wasn't the only one. Okay, you also have the ulama or the qadis, and they're missionaries, and their main objective is to go out and to preach the faith. And you have in the Islamic world, education was big because you through education you learn Arabic, and Arabic, of course, is the book or the language in which um, the Quran is written in. But you also have other smaller known entities. You also have the Sufis or Islamic mystics who were mostly kind of like monks. Okay, they lived a very ascetic life. They lived holy lives. They won the respect of the people, and they basically said, "Look, um, revere Allah in your own way. Um, be tolerant of other people that uh, be tolerant of other people who um, go about their way of praying to Allah. Okay, whatever that way is." Um, they believed in singing and dancing, and they were very effective for quite some time. Um, I think most people revered these type of people, but there's obviously people that did not. Um, Another thing that united the Muslims was the Hajj, and that's of course the pilgrimage to see the Kaaba. All right, so that's another um, aspect of Islam that isn't necessarily found in any of the other cultures. Islamic culture and traditions in Persia and India and Greece. In Persia, you have a very high influence of Islam, mostly in literary works. Um, you have this idea of being wise and benevolent and absolute in these works. Indian influence, they adopted the Hindu numerals, which Europeans will later call the Arab numerals, and that's the numbers that we use today in the modern world. They also gained insight into algebra and trigonometry. And finally, the Greek influence, Muslim philosophers established, or especially liked, I should say, Plato and Aristotle and their ideas, and they turned to them over and over and over again for philosophical teachings and guidance. Okay, then it's really important that you understand all these things because what's going on in Europe during this time period is none of these things. You don't have a lot of learning going on. It is, as they say, the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages. And if it wasn't for the Islamic world holding on to these things, we wouldn't have learned about them later on. And it's only until basically the Renaissance that Europe begins to reestablish itself with any of these teachings because they were looked upon as being pagan and not very Christian because obviously they were these teachings and writings and ideas came before Christ, and because of the Middle Ages and the church being so dominant in its belief system, it really didn't. These ideas really didn't penetrate through very well. Or if you believed in them or tried to understand them, you were called a heretic. And so in the Islamic world, they're able to preserve all these things. So this is lecture number 4 of the Islamic series.